Hi everybody, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. Today I created this really gorgeous like grunge glam but for summertime, if that makes sense. So I created this look with these huge lashes, really pretty bold lip, bold eyes, and very dewy luminous skin to stick with the summertime vibe. Even though I'm not really feeling the summertime vibe right now because it is so hot outside, I literally just cannot. It goes from air conditioning to sweltering heat, and it's not cute. Also, technical difficulties. This corner of my eye will not stop watering every single time I do my makeup now. It's like a thing. I don't know what I need to do, but it's like really getting on my nerves and ruining my life. So yeah. Anyways, if you want to see how to get this really pretty, dramatic, summer night grunge glam look, then just keep on watching. Bye guys! To start any makeup routine, skincare is the most important part. So I'm going in and prepping my under eye area with a Bobbi Brown Hydrating Eye Cream. Obviously, you can use any eye cream of your choice. I'm just going to swipe this underneath the eye to help prep it for concealer. Next, I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Rich Face Base and just pressing this into the skin. This is a primer and a moisturizer built in one, which is awesome. But I still use a primer because I like to layer my skincare products. So I'm taking the Smashbox Primer Oil, which I absolutely love. I'm just taking about 2 or 3 drops of this. I'm going to rub it in between my fingers and then again press it into the skin to ensure it gets nice and in there. The only thing with this is you're going to have to wait about 3 to 5 minutes just to let it set before you start applying foundation, but it's definitely worth the wait. This product is absolutely amazing. Now you see me hydrating my lips with a random lip balm, and then I'm going in with the Becca Backlight Targeted Color Corrector in the shade Peach. So I'm taking this on a MAC concealer brush. Any sort of firm, flat brush like this is going to be perfect for this type of product. This is my first time using this Becca corrector, and I have to say I really love it. I love how creamy the formula is, and it does exactly what it says it's going to do and what it's supposed to do, which is cancel out darkness. So I take this underneath my eyes where I have like that kind of brown, blackish darkness underneath my eye, and then I'm taking this underneath my nose, on my cheeks, and on my forehead where I have scarring and hyperpigmentation and sunspots, anything like that, like those black kind of brown spots. It's going to cover those up and make it so much easier to put the foundation on top. You're not going to need as much foundation. It's going to completely glide right over it. So I'm just going to blend it out really gently with my beauty blender. Not fully blend it out, but just kind of press it into the skin. And now going in with foundation, I'm taking the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation in the shade Cadiz. You want to make sure you shake it up really nicely because it is like a watery foundation, so it could tend to separate if you don't shake it every time you use it. How I like to do this is take a couple of pumps on the back of my hand and this just kind of dip my beauty blender in it and just press it into the skin, as you can see. And can you see how nicely like that foundation just glides on top of that corrector? I'm absolutely in love with how my skin turned out for this look. And I'm obsessed with this foundation anyways, especially for summer, just because it's so lightweight, but it gives such a nice coverage, but keeping your skin looking very dewy and nice and flawless. Using your beauty blender for your foundation, just keep in mind those pressing, bouncing motions on your skin. And now going in with brows. I'm going to take a spoolie and brush my brow hair straight up so I can see exactly what it is I'm filling in. And for brow gel, I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Brow Gel in the shade Mahogany, which I have really been loving, especially for more of a natural brow look. So I'm going to take my angled brow brush, dip it really lightly into the brow gel, and just start going in very short, small strokes. I'm going to work on the middle of the brow and then work on the tail of the brow. I'm going to keep with those short strokes until the brow is how I want it. And then I'm going to take that spoolie again and sort of blend out the product. Just brush through it. Don't move the product around too much. Just brush enough so that it's blended. Next, going in with the MAC Brow Pencil in the shade Stud. I'm just going to add a little bit of texture to my brow and make my brows look more feathered and more natural. For the front of the brow, I like to do more straight up lines to mimic hair. And then for the rest of the brow, I sort of slant the strokes a little bit, only because that's the natural way in which my hair grows. And then I'll just blend out that product a little bit with the spoolie. And next I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Perfect Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown and just do exactly what I just did with that first brow pencil. I like to use a regular sharpened pencil and a gel pencil because it adds more dimension and more texture, and the more dimension and texture you have to your brows, the more real they look. So that's why I like to use those 2 different pencils. I just do the exact same thing, one on top of another, It doesn't matter which order you do them in. I just like to do it in this order. So now I'm going to carve out the brows to give them just a more defined, clean shape. So I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer and my Sigma cream shadow brush. I like to use a more round, flat brush like this because I find it carves out the easiest and it just does all the work for me. So once I get it carved, I kind of pull the concealer down just to make it easier to blend out. So I like to start in the middle, do the tail, and then work on the front because the front is a little bit harder to achieve. This brush, though, makes it virtually impossible to mess up carving out your brows. Like I said, it completely does the work for you. Just clean up any little mistakes you may have made and just sharpen up what you already did, your natural brow line. Now going back in with that beauty blender, I'm just going to take it point tip up and just press that concealer into the lid to help prep my lids for eyeshadow. And then I'm going to do my other brow off camera and then carve out the brows from the top this time. So I'm just going to take the tiniest drop of the foundation and go back in with that matte concealer brush and do exactly what you see I'm doing here. Just carve out the top, clean up any little makeup mistakes that may have went over my natural hairline, and just make the brows look very clean and sharp. Now I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, wiping off the excess product into the tube, and then I like to start with brushing my front hairs first and then brushing the rest of the hairs just to lock those brows in place for all day. Next, I'm taking the Benefit Stay Don't Stray primer in the shade Medium Deep. I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my lid and then buff it out with a beauty blender, and then take a random Real Techniques brush with translucent powder and set my lid like you would any other cream so my lids are ready for shadow. Next, I'm going in with my Lorac Pro 3 palette, which I'm obsessed with, and I'm taking the shade Terracotta, which is my favorite shade in the whole palette. It's like this really gorgeous yellowish brown color, and I'm putting this in my crease and slightly above. As you can see, I really don't have a super defined crease, so I kind of have to make my own, which is what you'll have to do if you don't have a super defined crease like me. You gotta work with what you got, boo. And then I'm going in with the shade Clay, which I also love. It's another really pretty like taupey brown color, and I'm just going to put this right over the terracotta and blend it into the crease and slightly above. Then I'm going to take a clean blending brush and just go over everything I just did so the look is very clean and blown out and perfect. Next, I'm going in with the shade Dark Brown, and I'm just going to push this in the outer corner of the eye. Just work the color in very slowly. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. I kind of want the eye look to be a little bit messy because it is more of a grunge look. I just want it to be like kind of just like whatever, like pretty effortless and messy, but still very, very gorgeous and diffused colors. I just want to build that pigment up really slowly so it's not like super muddy looking, but it just looks like effortless and pretty. And then I'm taking that same clean blending brush and I'm just going right over what I did again just to diffuse those colors and blend them all together and just make it look very, very just blown out again. And now I'm going in with the black shade in the palette. It's a really, really deep, dark, matte black. Super, super gorgeous. I'm taking this on a Sigma brush. I'm going to put all the brushes I use down below. And again, the same thing, pushing the color in the outermost corner of the eye. Again, it doesn't have to be neat. I'm just getting the color on there, and then I'm going to go in and blend it out with that same brush I used to put the terracotta and the clay in the crease. And then I'm going to go back in with that same clean brush and blend all the colors out really softly. I don't want it to be overly blended so it looks too messy. I just want to make sure the colors are very seamless and diffused. Now I'm taking the two shades mixed together, Light Pewter, I hope I'm saying that right, and Medallion, which are really, really gorgeous shimmery shades. I put those on a MAC 242 and put a little bit of MAC Fix Plus spray on them. And I'm just going to pile that on my lid about 3/4 of the way. Again, it does not have to be neat by any means because I'm going to go back in with a brush to kind of blend that out. And I'm not going to full on blend those colors out. I'm just going to sort of play with the edges of where I pack that on the lid just to diffuse any harsh lines. And then I'm going to take the shade Blanc just to highlight my brow bone. It's just a regular like vanilla matte shade. And now I'm going to take my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Medium Dark Warm. And I'm going to highlight underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, underneath my nose, on my cupid's bow, and on my chin. And I'm going to blend this out with my Beauty Blender by pressing it into the skin. And then I'm going to go in and bronze up my skin with my Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Medium. And I'm going to take this big fat fluffy brush by MAC versus like a contouring brush because I do want more of an airbrush bronzing glow versus a contour. And I'm obsessed with this Bobbi Brown bronzer because it has that really pretty pink tone in it that's more natural and it goes with my skin. You would think it's too light, but it's actually like really, really perfect for my skin tone. Yeah, so I'm obsessed. And then I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm going to pack that underneath my eyes, along my jawline, down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, chin, everywhere I put the concealer, just to sort of set that highlight, brighten it up a little bit, and keep it on all day long. And then I'm going to let that bake and then take my Real Techniques powder brush and just sort of sweep and flick the powder off. And then I'm going in with my NARS blush in the shade Gina. And as you can see, I like it to be the most pigmented, sort of on the outer corner of my eye, if it's angled out where it starts. And then I like to blend it up towards the collarbone. Blend it up towards my temples and then down towards the apple of my cheek. Now I'm taking the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. And I'm going to put this on top of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, on my Cupid's bow, just for a super luminous highlighted look. And then I'm going to go in with my Jordana Besh Lash Extreme Mascara. Just put a light coat of mascara on before I put on my fake lashes. Going back into the Lorac 3 palette, I am going to take the black shade on a flat brush. I'm just going to sort of put the color on my lower lash line just so that it can be smoked out. And now I'm taking the shade Dark Brown again on a fluffy brush like so. I'm just going to blend right over that black and completely smoke it out, make it seamless, and try not to stab myself in the eye. And then take that shade Almond Pearl and just put that on the inner corner of the eye and blend that out with your finger. And then I'm going to pop my lashes on off camera. And then lastly, do my lipstick. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Heathers, which I am absolutely obsessed with. It's such like a really gorgeous like blood true red. I really, really love it. And I really love the formula of the Anastasia liquid lipsticks. And then just to make sure everything lasts all day, I'm going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And we are good to go. Not before some awkward singing though. Thanks for watching, guys.